broken things. They hold broken stories and broken histories. These back roads, these unmarked beaches, they occupy a space of both collectivity and anonymity. So who then is responsible? What is the next step when the land shows us what we have done? Decades of destructive human activity that have just worked their way into this construct we call normal. So the only thing I really know how to do is to get out there and create with what the land presents to me, and also however the land is feeling that day.
Oh yeah, okay. No, we can't even get down there. We can't even get down there. The mist is already...
Sometimes the ocean presents me with really big, immovable things like this Hemi engine here. In this little cove where it gets submerged, I have to work with it in whatever way the land presents. Wherever possible, I'll try and use what's there. But sometimes I have to get a bit inventive. The ocean is stronger than me, and doesn't speak the same language as me. So sometimes we have our disagreements. You have to be prepared for failure. You have to plan for it even. And sometimes you really have to sit with that failure and take it as part of the process and part of what the land was telling you. Here you have a sculpture made from a failed print. And sometimes the smaller bits and bobs that I find end up coming back to the studio with me. I still visit the space, and the tactile experience of the space is still important for me to understand how I'm going to construct the piece in studio. I need to see the water and feel the rocks and the dirt. This is where I take decay and brokenness and use that as a starting point for creation. Broken farm equipment wheel with odd asymmetrical lines? Well, it's not so broken anymore if we just build upon the asymmetry that's already there. And what of pattern? My stitch work is often how I record memory in the cloth of the patterns that the natural environment is already showing me. Perhaps the water swirls around the rocks. Perhaps the wind buries the soil around the objects in an artful way. In addition to this creative value of memory, the stitch work also serves a practical purpose in how it manipulates color transfer from the rust into the cloth. I also manipulate the color of the rust by using different natural dyes. With these plant-based dyes, I process them into paints. In making these objects, it's really my hope that people can begin to see these items in a different light and perhaps break through some of that cognitive dissonance we have towards the environment. Because maybe, just maybe, this is all a bit odd.